Our group is again focused on advancing environmental mapping and forest health assessments by integrating NIR waves into autonomous drones. So in terms of current work, the USDA currently monitors forests through ground-based manual field surveys. And the problem with this is they're extremely time-consuming, expensive, and they're restricted to a certain spatial area, meaning they're very limited. And existing research only focuses on isolated components. Our goal is to make this customizable and a lot more cost-effective. And so our research aims to bridge these gaps that we currently face.
Okay, so our solution to bridge those gaps is to create a UAV capable of capturing high resolution photography, which is going to be done with a Raspberry Pi HQ camera, which we've already set up to some degree. We haven't put in the drone, but we've managed to take pictures with it and get like a live video feed. So we're well on our way to getting that integrated with the drone. We're gonna fly the UAV over the designated area, so wherever we want to like collect data from and determine force density. And the UAV will collect photography while it's in the air using the Pi camera, but we won't be processing it in the air and determining the density while it's in the air. That's all going to be done on the ground because like what's the point of programming something
Yes.
to fit within the
Okay, no.
constraints of like a Pi when you could use any sort of other like programming language like C plus or whatever. So we're gonna process that on the ground. And then after it's been processed, we're gonna send the data to agencies that'll benefit from it. So that could be like the Bureau of Land Management or the Department of Agriculture.
No, I don't.
And to create the drone, you're gonna use a Volantex 2400. There's a picture of the airframe towards the bottom. And that was before we put the prop and everything. And so far it's been really good. The 2400 stands for a 2.4 meter wingspan. And yeah, I don't think there's really any downsides to it. It's like a really good price for what you get out of it, which is like great endurance. And the only problem I'd say would be like, some components there being like a cheaper sailplane drone, like there's some more fragile like plastic components. So one of our test flights, a plastic ring like broke, not because it was hit, but just from like the shock of landing. Um, a lot of like our flight instruments, autopilot camera, all that's gonna be Pi based. So like with the Pi, we have like a barometer, altimeter, all of that. It's all meant to be like connected to the Pi. So then we can create a Pi based autopilot. So you use the GPS module and the other flight instruments to fly the drone wherever you want to collect the data and then take the pictures.
And so these data and pictures will be RGB images, but they will also contain NIR waves, which allows us to use our evaluation metric, which is the NDVI. This is a commonly used index. It stands for Normalized Difference Vegetation Index, and allows it's nationally used and allows scientists to understand how healthy certain areas of the forest are. So if we look at the image on the next slide, the right side of the image shows what our human eye would see, and then the left side shows the NIR waves that the camera sees. And then based on our code, we're able to convert the pixels in this image to an NDVI and use that to evaluate the health of the forest.
And we're hoping that what we've done in our methodology will be cost effective, um, far more quick and safe compared to like a person on the ground surveying a forest, and through good documentation of replicable results. In terms of future progress goals, we're hoping that we can automate the drone path using the GPS and maybe even sending real-time data to the computer. So there's really like a lot of like paths that this could go on. It's a really versatile airframe You could even put like an FPV system in, so that way, you know, it could be really like immersive. You could get a live view of where you're flying, like right in front of your eyes with the FPV system. Or you could do FPV, but instead of using goggles, you could have it sent to a computer, you could have a rotating camera. So there's really a lot of things you can do. And outside of just forest health, you could also use it for crop assessment, which is pretty similar, but in a lot of ways it's really different because you're looking for some smaller changes and details. And you can also use it for search and rescue, especially with the eye or camera. And we could also still stick with forest assessment, take it to a larger scale. But in that case, I don't know if we'd be using the same airframe. It'd be smarter maybe to make something using carbon fiber with a balsa wood frame, a much larger drone. And our acknowledgements, we want to thank Dr. McMahon for guiding us and showing how research is done. Dr. Downing for or Mr. Downing for procuring materials and providing insightful advice. And Rishyam, Melinda Huang, Ripple, Aditya Kampela, and our new members, Siddharth and Omar, who are the other group members who have contributed immensely to our research.